Hey guys, my name is Katie, and in today's video, I'm going to be giving you an update on where I'm at as far as using Contrave. If you're new to my channel or you haven't seen any of my other Contrave videos yet, there will be a link down below and you can get caught up. I'll put all of those there. My journey with Contrave. We have a love-hate relationship. I had been on Contrave for over a year. I'm trying to remember exactly dates, but I'm really bad on that. So we'll just say it was a little over a year that I was taking it at the full dose, and I felt really good. I felt like my mood was stabilized. My weight had come down. I lost 30 pounds pretty quickly, I would say. Not quick, but it felt like it was more natural or less effort. And of course, I got to this place where I was feeling good. And so I thought, I don't want to take medication my whole life. Like, I don't want to have to rely on it. And so I went through this period of probably 6 months, maybe 8 months, where I was determined to come off of the Contrave completely. I'm really into natural things like essential oils and natural hair dye and just in general lessening the chemical burden on my body and in my household. So it's just been really hard for me to be on a medication, even though obviously it was helping me with more than just weight loss, which I'll kind of get more into that in a minute. So around that time, I decided if I'm going to come off of this medication, knowing that it's very heavily based on, not heavily based, it's completely based on a mental shift, so to speak. It works on the pleasure center of your brain and helps with binge eating or emotional eating. It's supposed to kind of like turn that down or turn it off. And in the beginning, I did describe how I just felt like it was a switch that needed to be flipped, either, an on off, like it needed to be turned off. And this medication helped to do that. So I knew that if I was going to come off of it, I had to have some kind of support. I wasn't just going to be able to completely stop. I ended up working with a life coach, which was seriously the most amazing, life-changing experience for me in the best way possible. And I am going to continue that as I move forward, but she really helped me focus on self-love, really. Self-love for me is at the center of anything to do with my weight, because I had been on diets and exercise plans and all these things, and it's like if it truly worked, why would I gain the weight back, right? So there was this kind of missing piece to the puzzle, that it wasn't just about having willpower and, just being strong enough to stay on a diet. It went beyond that for me. And I know that it goes beyond that for a lot of people. And maybe if you're watching this video, you are one of those people. I first off want to tell you, there is nothing wrong with you. You are an amazing human. You are beautiful. No matter what size you are, you're beautiful. You are strong. You are blessed. You are all these things. And if in your life you have ever felt that because you failed a diet, if you've ever worked with a personal trainer and you weren't succeeding like they wanted you to or they expected you to, or you had doctors that doubted what you were doing and saying, oh, you just need to stick with it and you need to find the motivation and you need to just, starve yourself and just, oh, it'll get easier. There's nothing wrong with you if you can't live like that. I'm here to tell you that nobody can live like that. If they live like that, they're not happy. I guarantee they're not happy. So I went through this transformation, so to speak, on focusing on loving me first, unconditionally, not putting any conditions on, well, I love most things about me, but this weight. Oh, if I was just 30 pounds lighter, if I just lost 10 pounds. Oh, if I just, and it was always conditional on, well, yeah, I love things about me, but really this weight. And it was always that thing. So I focused on loving myself no matter what, unconditionally, and went all this past summer completely off of Contrave. I got myself off and I spent a lot of time outside. I find that like the sunshine and the fresh air, walking for me is like this mental boost. I go for a walk and it's like my creativity starts sparking and my motivation, and I just feel amazing. So for me, walking is like part of my routine because it makes me feel so good mentally and physically. So here we are in the second week of November, and last week I found myself, I'm going to use the word slipping because that's what it feels like mentally. The seasons changing definitely has something to do with this because I literally spent the summer outside. I don't care what I had to do. I was like, I will work outside. I'll take my computer, my laptop out there. I will go pull weeds out of my grass one at a time because I can just be out in the sunshine. I will just be outside doing anything as long as I'm outside in the sun and the fresh air. And now that the weather's getting cooler, I'm in Michigan, and so we are getting into the cooler, windier, yuckier weather that's not as sunny and not as friendly being outside. And so I find myself being inside a lot more. And I know that has a lot to do with this slipping that I'm talking about. I had some Contrave left from when I had stopped taking it. And I found myself without hesitation just saying, you know what? I think I need to start back on the Contrave. And I started back with one pill in the morning and one in the evening. Actually, I think I started with one in the morning for a few days. I don't think I went the full week, and then started adding one in the evening. And that's kind of where I'm at right now. I have an appointment with my doctor to kind of talk about all this stuff because obviously I will want a refill soon here if she thinks it's a good idea to be back on it. But for me, Contrave has helped stabilize my mood. It's not only helped stabilize my mood, but I just feel free of the food shackles. I don't know how to describe it, but I'm pretty sure you guys are going to know what I'm talking about. Those daily thoughts of, I'm starving, but I shouldn't eat because, oh, I don't need to eat that. I'm trying to lose weight. Or, oh my gosh, I'm so hungry, but I don't have any points left. You know, if you've ever done Weight Watchers. Or I'm going over my calories. Or, oh, I shouldn't eat that. I shouldn't do this, shouldn't do that. It's taken that part of my brain activity. It's taken that just out of the mix. And it's allowing me to focus on other things, to say, you know what, I'm hungry, so I'm going to eat. And for me, it's just everything right now. And again, that's hard for me because I am not someone that really wants to rely on a medication. But I do believe there's a time and a place. For example, with essential oils, there's a time and a place to use essential oils, and there's a time and a place for medication. I believe they can all coexist. And I'm just finding that medication really just not only helps me mentally with the food part, it evens my mood out. I feel like I can get all the things done in a day that I want to get done because my brain can move on from the diet, exercise obsession that starts happening. I want to backtrack just for a minute and say when I was going through this self-love journey, I'm still on a self-love journey. I shouldn't say that'll never be over because it's a constant reminder every day for myself. When I was going through it in the beginning, I really just let go of any type of diet or weighing myself. I really let go of all that because I got involved in some social media followings where they were really body positive and saying, and actually anti-diet culture. Let's just say it more that way. And there's this push of you don't have to be on a diet, this, that, and the other, which I agree with, by the way, because being on a diet, a restrictive diet, you just can't do that long term. But here's the reality of it. I found myself at my highest weight not pregnant. When I went off the Contrave, before I went off the Contrave, I had gained back like the 30 pounds I originally lost on Contrave. And I battled with 10 or 15 pounds here or there for a little while. And then when I completely stopped, my weight just went right up. And the reality of it is my body is not happy at that weight. So my motivation for losing weight at this point is more so I can feel comfortable in my own skin completely, so I don't hurt every morning, so I can play the sports I want to play and my knees don't hurt, my ankles or my back or whatever it is. I want to feel confident and just feel good. And I can't do that if I'm hurting, right? That's just reality of it. And so I feel like I can take a different approach to weight loss at this point in my life after going through really hardcore digging and self-love and affirmations and all the things that really helped on a daily basis, journaling, really just to figure out who I am and why I should love myself just as I am, right? I feel like I got lost. I was just lost. I don't know that I ever knew really who I was. I don't know that I ever figured that out. And I finally started figuring that out this year. But I want to feel strong mentally and physically. I just do. So my approach right now is to get back on the Contrave. And I am tracking points, so to speak, on an app. What's the app called? I'm recording on my phone, so I can't think of it. iBites. It's very similar to the Weight Watchers plan where you count points versus calories. And my only reason for doing that is to just become aware. It's not to judge anything I'm eating, because this is like, I can eat whatever I want. If you restrict, and in my case, I know for a fact, restricting causes binging. At some point, you're like, okay, I can't have ice cream. So you restrict and you withhold for however long until you're just like, oh my gosh, if I don't have ice cream, I'm gonna die. So then instead of eating just like a serving of ice cream, you end up eating like the whole thing, right? You're just like, well, I already started, so I might as well just finish it now and get it out of the house so I don't have to worry about it and then it won't tempt me, right? We've all been there, I'm sure. So the point system, if you've never done Weight Watchers, it's pretty much the same thing. There's no food that's off limits. You can have whatever you want. It's just how much and how often, and just overall you're staying within this point system. So this app is free. There is a paid version where you can get like recipes and stuff, but you can get on it for free. And it has a little scanner option where you can scan your food, like the wrappers, and it'll log your points in. You can log in activity if you want. But my whole reason for doing that was just to be aware of what I'm doing. It just gives me that extra reflecting moment where I can say, all right, if I'm hungry, that's cool, eat. If you're hungry, eat. If I'm going to eat and I have to physically track what I'm doing, I have to think for a second if I'm really hungry. Am I in here just because I'm bored? Am I just want to eat because whatever, for some reason other than hunger? And so for me, it's a non-judgmental approach where I can eat whatever I want It's just paying attention to how much. And if I go over my points, I go over my points. It's okay. This isn't something that I'm looking to do short term and say, oh, well, I just have to be on this crash diet for just long enough to get 30 pounds off and then whatever. Because what happens if you do it that way? What happens when you stop the restriction? The weight piles right back on. Because at the root of it, I promise you, if you struggle with this, like me, it's self-love. If you approach your health journey physically, if we want to say about losing weight or getting healthy physically, look at self-love. Look at ways that you can improve that for yourself. And if you guys are interested, I can start posting more on my journey because I really haven't been doing that, and I feel like I should be doing that because I think not only does it help me because I get to make the videos and really focus on it, which helps me, but I also get to share what's working for me with other people because I know that so many of you guys struggle with these same things. So if you're interested in that, leave me some comments. Tell me what you guys want to see more of. If you want more update videos for Contrave, I can do more regular videos that have to do with the Contrave, which it's going to probably involve all of it because right now it's not just one thing I'm doing, right? That's just one little piece or one tool that I'm using. There's so many things that I've been doing and helpful exercises or journal prompts or affirmations and things that really have helped me get going in the right direction. All right, I think I've talked enough for this video. Hopefully, you guys, if you stuck with me up to this point, I really appreciate you tuning in, and hopefully I answered any of the update questions. If I haven't, and you want to know a little bit more, or if you want to see more videos on Contrave, just let me know that too in the comments below.
That sounds bad.
And I'll say that's it. And I'll see you guys in the next video.
If you're new to this
Have a great
video,
day. Bye.
First, you're new to this video. I just posted it.
No, I don't want to say it like that. Blah, blah, blah.